What's up, everyone? It's Roger and Abe here from DisKingdom.com, and in this episode, we are going to be discussing the Civil War new trailer that just got released this last weekend, including a new character that we're not particularly too aware of, a web slinger called Spider-Man. So, Abe, did you see this trailer?
Of course I did. So a few times actually.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I mean, I must admit, I've seen it a few times as well. What was your initial thoughts on it?
Awesome. I mean, I'm finally starting to get to see, starting to see more and more of what I want to see. The both teams going at it. I mean, you finally get to see Scarlet Witch bringing Vision down a little bit. I mean, you got to see this containment unit, like gel thing in the middle of the ocean. I mean, you get to see all these different things going on, and obviously, the big thing that everybody's been talking about, we get to see, some little kid in a red costume come out and just take Captain America's shield, and his eyes open up, and people are complaining about his suit and all this stuff, and I'm like, you guys, it's Spider-Man. Shut up! It's awesome.
Do you know what? It's really funny because it's like, I think that was the thing. Because I think the first thing is everyone's main reaction has been Spider-Man. That scene with Spider-Man at the end grabs his, it's like I think that was the thing. I remember watching the trailer and it's like, I'm just thinking, why did you do this in the trailer? Why didn't you not? I don't know. You might have seen him loads of times before that, but for our first impression seeing it, I'm just like, because I just wasn't expecting it at that point, because it was just like, we've seen that clips of them getting ready to fight, and suddenly just this web coming down, pulling up the shield. I'm just like, what? It was just like, what the hell? It was just like, was not expecting it in that scene, and then him standing there with the shield. That if that isn't an iconic moment for Marvel movies, I don't know what is. That is a pure go buy this ticket. This is the you go buy it now. This is the
it's definitely the Batman versus what movie's gonna come out? It's all about this movie. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, it definitely was like, this is like this. And I'm gonna be honest, it's like Captain America movie where nobody's interested in the main title. It's like, I don't know, why didn't they call it Avengers Civil War? I just don't understand why they didn't. I understand not calling it Civil War because people would have gone in expecting, there's like old-fashioned movie.
It's because of what's happening in this movie, especially with Captain America. That's probably why.
But everyone is now just saying it's an Avenger movie. It's an Avenger movie. There's so many superheroes in it. It's just I think the Captain America thing is just unnecessary. It should have just been Avengers Civil War, and I think that
it's not an Avengers movie because they're not avenging anything. They're fighting against each other. That's why you can't call it the Avengers. It's different. I just
think in terms of the mass public, this is what they're looking at. They may be looking at going, well, it's Captain America movie with everybody else. On the side of, I think because everyone's talking about Ant-Man, everyone's talking about Spider-Man, everyone's talking about Black Panther, but Captain America is a bit like, yoo-hoo, I'm in the title.
Well, you know what, though? I have a feeling that from now on, most of the next movies are going to be the movie title and somebody else. Like, for example, for Thor, we have Hulk is going to be there now. You know what I mean? Like, and then obviously we have Ant-Man and Wasp. I'm pretty sure somebody else is going to be there with them sometimes. I mean, there's going to be, and not to mention Black Panther. I don't want to say anything bad about the movie or where it's going to go, but Black Panther is going to need something to help it push a little bit. You know what I mean? I mean, who knows what his character is going to be like in this movie, but he's definitely going to need a little bit of push from another superhero in there. Yeah. So I feel like from now on, most of the movies are going to have a little bit of everybody in it.
It's definitely interesting, I think, with the Black Panther, where they're bringing him in. They're bringing him in through the main movie instead of doing the solo movie first, which is what we've always done. And it's the same with, same with Spider-Man. The only thing is with Spider-Man is at least he is such a known character. There's already been 5 movies. There's been, animated series. He's been around for 60. Black Panther's less known. People aren't so sure of his work. So I think it's definitely interesting to see what they're doing. I was expecting to see Giant Man in the trailer. I was kind of surprised we didn't see more of him because it was the first kind of time we've really seen Ant-Man on Team Captain. We'd not really seen him in the trailer before. It's like this whole thing about his new look of his outfit. But I was expecting a Giant Man.
If you go directly to Marvel and ask them, is Giant Man in this movie? They will tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But if you go to any other toy supplier, Disney Infinity or commercials or you know you'll see Giant Man's in it. So definitely, he's definitely
Yeah.
in it for sure.
I think unless they're going with a more simpler system of Ant-Man can just get bigger and smaller, and rather than trying to, because the whole thing of Ant-Man and his different names and yellow and all these kind of things is a lot easier. He is just Ant-Man in the
Well,
cinematic universe.
well, he is. In fact, even people have been notating the fact that Giant Man is you know Ant Man is in it. You know what I mean? It's definitely part of him. It's who he is. So
And I love the fact that they did that classic anime or classic cover shoot where like Hawkeye is shooting the arrow with Ant-Man on it. You know, that's what the comic fans are just like, yeah, this is like it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's paying homage to a lot of things in the comic book. I mean, even though this movie can't be exactly like it, it's definitely a lot of nods to it, and that's really cool.
Yeah, I think from the Spider-Man reveal, to me, actually, it was really funny because I think I saw him and it was just this thing of, that is Spider-Man. That is this. I maybe growing up on the 60s cartoon and the 70s TV series, to me, that looked like the normal Spider-Man. That kind of looked like the classic Spider-Man. It looks like how he, in my, head, that is, because some of the new modern ones, he got so much more flashy and so much more thing that he looked more basic. And if he's a kid 16, I mean, obviously I think the idea he's been given this suit by Iron Man, so that's going to be the way they're going to spin it. But I actually if you look in the comics, it's exactly how he looks in a lot of the comics, like the Alex Ross stuff. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, that's a bit different. His eyes aren't. Well, he's got lots of different looks, but actually, to me, I thought he looked the most classic Spider-Man I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the eyes, and you can definitely see that they're mechanical. You know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely Iron Man helping out there. You also noticed that he had his mechanical web shooter, and even his belt, he had little extra compartments where he had some of the refills. So it was kind of cool that they're just doing these little bits and pieces. I love his new suit; it looks great. I love the fact that he's a younger character. You know what I mean? Like, this is how it should be. This is Spider-Man, and I'm glad it's not an origin story. Like he's already a superhero. He's just already part of it. It's good. I'm loving this. This is great.
I think that's the thing. And again, Spider-Man, they don't need to do the origin story. They're going to do the solo movie and all the bits and pieces. I mean, there's talk of a Venom spin-off movie that's not MCU and all the rest of it. But for this is exactly what it is. And now it's interesting. An article that I put up on the website was about Spider-Man, the new Avenger video game that Activision are making. Could give us an idea of what the movie name's going to be called. I like the idea of the new Avenger. It ties it in with the MCU universe. It's the fact that he's now on the Avengers team, and definitely interesting. It's definitely an interesting time for Spider-Man fans. I think for me, this is a great opportunity for him to to bring in the big guns. And I think all it does now is it just kind of goes, Fox. But I love that meme that's been going around with Deadpool with that gun. Oh, superhero landing. Well done.
No, yeah, absolutely. That was my favorite one too.
Here it comes. It's coming. He's gonna do the superhero landing.
I mean, you got to think Fox may want to somehow make some of the extra money. You know what I mean? Just by doing the partnership, but I don't know, man. Studios are greedy; they like money.
Yeah,
so
especially after the success of Deadpool, it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I'm just going to quickly just bring up the trailer here. So we're kind of going to go through it and just kind of because there was a few different changes and stuff that came in. I'm going to mute it so we don't hear it. We don't want any of them. It's definitely
flagging.
Yeah, we don't want none of that. Okay, so we start off on like an ice area. This is all new. It's hard to know. Like I said, it's hard to know in context what this. Oh, this is where they're storing the Winter Surge, who looks so badass there. He looks a bit like Bane. Oh, where's my best friend? So
another replaying everything, yeah.
And also it makes the movie look a lot bigger budget. I mean, it's got a big budget, but I think it's just that thing of like, you guys have messed up so much. We'll say messed up. They saved the world, but we're going to hold you responsible for the costs that happened.
Yeah.
I like the fact that
Go ahead.
Yeah, I like the fact that they brought in General Ross back in and kind of, he's kind of the main villain.
That's what I was going to say too. Yeah, yeah. It just ties them into the Edward Norton Hulk movie, so it's great. It brings it back into the universe.
Is this is Black Panther, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, and it's kind of I can't Tiana, is it? No, I can't remember what his name is. Still kind of getting used to that character. It's definitely, it's like he said, this is this like underground or undersea base where they're storing villains by the looks of it. Definitely an interesting kind of. It's hard to know exactly what's going on, but these two are kind of definitely not agreeing on stuff.
They're not friends anymore.
No. I mean, you really get to see Black Panther in action in those bits, wasn't it? You really kind of get to see.
This is probably the cheesiest thing I've ever seen. A lot of people are complaining about Spider-Man. Yeah, you're going way too fast here. The I call it the hobo glove. How is it that his glove is like it's building his Iron Man suit out of like a watch? It makes no sense. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, and also we get to see we got to see War Machine get shot and he goes down, and that kind of really like you can see him coming down. This really pisses Iron Man off.
Yeah, it looks like his power supply, his little
This is like, right, I'm coming to get you.
Yeah.
It's the thing is that all these things are taken so out of context. You just don't know really what's going on where with who and what. It's definitely. Oh, see there. I mean, that's a low blow. But you can definitely see this thing of these two are really kind of being all opposite teams at this side. Yeah, so
there we go. That was the one right there.
Yeah. I mean, you were saying about like Vision and Scarlet Witch kind of going at it and stuff. It kind of makes sense in terms of they're the only kind of the powered ones on the teams at this point.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense because Vision really, in all honesty, could wipe out the entire other team without even sort of just flipping his eyelids, kind of thing.
Pretty much.
It makes sense. And as you can see, this is the bit where you can he was just on the arrow, which we were talking about earlier, which is a great kind of nod. And I think it's great to see Ant-Man in there properly because we've not really seen too much about him, And there we got to see a little bit of Crossbones.
Crossbones, yeah.
Which we don't really know too much about yet. He's kind of I just really don't know where this story's going to go because they're really just focusing on these two fighting.
Yeah, well, out of three or four characters I've seen here, we can totally make use of Infinity. I know we can at least get two of them.
Yes. Well, there's two on the screen right there that we could put in quite happily.
I'd be happy, but I know one of them would make.
But also, War Machine,
that's one of the ones I was talking about too, and Crossbones.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. I think we've seen this sort of clip before where we've seen them sort of fighting, and I think this is where this whole thing with the Spider-Man is you just were not expecting this. This is kind of the big bit because at this point you're going, okay, well, there's no Spider-Man, there's nothing. It's just this is the bit here. I just was not expecting that.
What does he say? Underoos is what he said.
Yeah. I think that's because that's the little nod to the because he's obviously wearing his underpants.
Yeah, gotcha.
Kind of a nod. I think it's just this bit that I don't think anyone was expecting this bit. And that bit there when he's just standing there with that shield. I mean, that is literally probably one of the most iconic things I think I've seen from a Marvel movie in years. This is the rotating Avengers scene. This is one of those kind of classic moments with him with the shield and stuff. Whoop. Was that you or me?
Looks like Spider-Man got it.
that was my mug dropping off the side.
Nice.
Yeah, a nice C3PO dropping on the side. The thing is I have this nice new microphone, which is very much more sensitive than whoa.
So I was going to say, basically, as far as Spider-Man being a part of this, and obviously we still don't know how much of a part he's going to have in this movie. Regardless of the fact, you do see in the main battle scene, you do see an even amount of number versus an even amount of number. You know what I mean? Like is Spider-Man just visiting? Is he just playing a little cameo? We don't know at this point. But it's cool to see him in the film. That's for sure.
It's definitely, I think for me, it's definitely in the point of it's the addition. I don't, and it might sound bad, but Spider-Man wasn't really needed in this movie. In all honesty, in my view, as much as he is a massive part of the Civil War comic book, where he reveals himself, they can't do that in here because simply they haven't even introduced him. They can't bring him in and unveil him and then they undo it in the comics. It doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't seem like, that's literally just like the cherry on top, just to introduce him, get him in there. Same with Black Panther. Give them the nod, bring it all in. Civil War is going to bring in, I think, is going to be a massive summer hit for Marvel. I think it feels like it's building up more steam than the actual Age of Ultron. I think this is going to be a massive billion-dollar movie very, very quickly.
Well, this is the year of Civil Wars, technically. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, the DC is doing their own, hero versus hero. So I'm sure that them doing it as well. It's definitely a movie of different type of superhero movies. I mean, even including Doctor Strange. That's also going to be something new for Marvel as far as superhero movies goes. So, point is, Civil War looks amazing. Every little bit of it is awesome. I'm excited to see it. I only thing that I wish is, like, come on, give Falcon his red leotard suit type of thing. I know he wants it. Give it to him already.
What's funny was this week my mum turned around to me and one day and went, "Do you know there's a Batman versus Superman movie coming out next week?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, my mum goes, "Have they run out of ideas?" It was just like, I'm like, "No, Mum, they were going into some better stuff now." It's like, they're doing a big like Civil War thing coming up, and she's like, "Oh." It's like if my mum knows there's a comic book movie coming, I thought Batman's also done quite a good job because she doesn't normally know what hell's going on with movies. But I was just thinking, have they run out of ideas?
That's too funny.
It's like, but yes, they can't only do, Superman comes down from Krypton so many times before eventually, or Bruce Wayne's parents get murdered. There's only so many times you can film it. Same with the Spider-Man bite. There's only so many ways you can do it. But I'm kind of glad that they are kind of getting away from just origin. But yeah, Civil War trailer looks really cool. Lots and lots of cool merchandise. I haven't seen any Spider-Man merchandise. Apparently, there was kind of issues of who does what with Sony and all of it. I'm sure they've worked it all out. I just think it was more, that's wave 2 of the toys, like we saw with a lot of the Star Wars stuff. Spider-Man is wave 2.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting. Can't wait to see it.
Yes, so definitely would love to know your thoughts on Marvel Civil War. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're on Patreon as well, you can join us over there at patreon.com/DisKingdom. It's a big thank you to Ethan over at sortapps.com and Magic Band Collectors as well for supporting us. And also to our other patrons as well, who usually get access to these episodes a little bit earlier than everybody else. There's a little perk just for thanking and for helping us out. And like I said, you can join up on our Facebook groups. We have the Disney Marketplace for buying, selling, trading, but also joining on the DisKingdom Lounge, where you can go in and chime in about all kind of bits and pieces, and so it's definitely worth joining in there. It's kind of nice kind of places to chat Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars. Anything else you want to add on that one, Abe?
No, yeah, just please help us out, be Patreons, and that way we can, keep improving the show, and you can get your access to our content even faster. Yep. So, yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we shall see you guys soon. Laters.